President Tinubu embarks on two-nation trip to Japan and Brazil. Nigeria on pathway for sustainable development, Information Minister assures.
All parts of this country, including the Boycetia and Southeast Africa, have benefited from President Bola Tinubu's Fund program.
Federal government rescues 11 Nigerian miners stranded in Central African Republic. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. President Bola Tinubu has left Abuja for Dubai, United Arab Emirates, ahead of his two-nation trip to Japan and Brazil. The flight to Dubai is for a stopover before proceeding to Yokohama in Japan. A statement by the Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, indicates that the President will in Japan attend the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD 9, in Yokohama from August 20th to 22nd. With the theme, Co-Create Innovative Solutions with Africa, TICAD 9 will focus on Africa's economic transformation and improvements in the business environment and institutions through private investments and innovation. In addition to attending plenary sessions on themes linked to the conference, the Nigerian president will hold bilateral meetings and meet the chief executive officers of some Japanese companies with investments in Nigeria. At the end of TICAD 9, President Tinubu will leave for Brazil's capital, Brasilia. We're on a two-day state visit from Sunday, August 24th to August 25th, being Monday. The state visit to Brazil is on the invitation of the Brazilian president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. The investments of President Bola Tinubu in agriculture, education, infrastructure, healthcare and the economy in the southeast are the pathways for sustainable development both in the zone and across the country. Caleb Ogbonna reports that these were the views of the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, and Governor Francis Nwifuru when they interfaced in Abakaliki as part of the minister's tour of the zone.
Which is repo effects are visible in the southeast, especially in Ebonyi State. The Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, opined, has brought the zone to limelight, which is part of President Bola Tinubu's manifesto.
The Mr. President has the people of Ebonyi State close his heart. The President is very proud to associate with the people of Southeast Nigeria. He will ensure that the people of Southeast Nigeria are in the forefront of this reform agenda. Over 400,000 Nigerians from all parts of this country, including the Boycetia and Southeast Africa, have benefited from President Bola Tinubu's Fund program.
The minister, accompanied by the federal government delegation, including the Director General of Nigerian Television Authority (NTA), Abdulhamid Dembos, is geared towards aligning citizens with federal government policies and projects. For Governor Francis Nwifuru, the tour is timely, as the progress being witnessed in Ebonyi State are the ripple effects of the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President.
And I can say categorically clear that this is the first time have a project to say this is a project of ongoing and remain completed. What Mr. President today is doing, the idea of Nigeria is that he's laying foundation. I'm very proud of Mr. President in so many areas. You see the network activities, the scale, the programs is very fantastic.
The visit by the Minister of Information Mohammed Idris to Ebonyi State is part of the larger engagement with the people of Southeast on the inclusiveness and implementation of the Renewed Hope agenda in the zone. In Abakaliki, Caleb Obunna, NTA News.
The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) has confirmed an incident involving a British Airways this Friday morning, 15th August 2025, in which 58 passengers were denied boarding due to issues with certain seats on the airline's aircraft. Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection of NCAA, Michael Achimugu, who confirmed the developments on his X handle, stated that hotel accommodation has been provided for those affected. He said 28 passengers chose to return home, while 30 passengers accepted the hotel accommodation. Arrangements are in place to airlift the affected passengers on Saturday morning. He said that eligible passengers may file for compensation in line with applicable regulations. NCAA wishes to remind all passengers that in such situations, the first point of contact should be the NCAA Consumer Protection Officers located within the terminal. These officers will ensure that passengers' rights to care and assistance are upheld in the event of airline delays or disruptions. However, affected passengers are advised to contact British Airways directly to process compensation claims and not to report any unresolved concerns to the NCAA Consumer Protection Department. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria wants a robust support system prioritizing breastfeeding, empowering mothers and improving child health. They suggested more awareness creation to help society understand and harness the enormous health benefits of breastfeeding to mother, child, and society at large. Lydia Sampson reports.
Despite the proven benefits of breastfeeding, barriers still persist. Some of these barriers are inadequate work policies, lack of family support, and misinformation. Myths such as breast milk being insufficient or formula superior. These, guests noted, undermine confidence and compromise child development and health.
It's not just about maternity leave because that's up to 6 months, but after 6 months you come back to work. I can't leave my baby at home, and even if I have good care at home, if I'm breastfeeding, I need to be able to express and store my breast milk in a safe, clean, hygienic place. So we're saying all workplaces, beginning with government, must have either creches or lactation, hygienic, safe lactation spaces that mothers can express milk and take.
Feeding bottles is not the best. Now, what happens in feeding bottles is that when you put the milk inside, there is a gap, and that gap is the air. When you are breastfeeding that baby, the air will first of all go into the baby, and the baby will get easy satiety. So, and at the end of the day, the baby will not be getting enough, will get malnourished.
Breastfeeding safe places and limited healthcare guidance, busting myths around exposure of breast and breastfeeding while pregnant, they acknowledge, also hinders success.
There's a renewed commitment, to the global commitment. In fact, there is a lot of intensive action to ensure that as part of our commitment to achieve universal healthcare coverage, maternal and child health survival is a critical component of it. Without realization of that, we cannot achieve universal healthcare coverage.
Holistic solutions, the guests reiterate, require coordinated efforts like workplace flexibility, comprehensive maternal education, encouraging partners' involvement, and accessible community resources. Dispelling myths through reliable information and empathetic counseling to strengthen mothers' resolve. By championing strong support networks and informed choices, guests on Good Morning Nigeria agreed communities can inspire and create nurturing environments where breastfeeding thrives, benefiting both mother and child. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The second phase of the Renewed Hope Employment Initiative will kick off in the first week of September, with the number of participants increasing from 21,000 to over 41,000. Director General of the National Directorate of Employment, Silas Agara, told a media briefing that some schemes had been merged to accommodate the high level of interest nationwide. Joseph Otsen reports.
28 July 2025, the National Directorate of Employment launched the application portal for the second phase of the Renew Hope Employment Initiative. The 2 weeks registration for skills acquisition training ended on August 11th. With the portal now closed, the selection process is underway to determine the beneficiaries.
There's a certain level of transparency, which is the portal. Anybody can go. Because it will be wrong for us to sit in the headquarters and approve names and load it on the state. That would be the wrong way to go about it. Because the training centers that are available to us are scattered all over the state.
NDE Director General Silas Segara says 41,307 successful applicants will be notified on the 1st and 2nd of next month. Each ward nationwide will have a minimum of 4 beneficiaries who will undergo entrepreneurship training in about 30 different skill sets based on needs assessments.
We are happy that some of the financial institutions, some of the institutions we are working with will be supporting us in terms of resettling some of our beneficiaries. So that made it a bit easier for us to increase the number.
Over 400,000 people applied for the scheme. The Northwest recorded the highest number with about 909,000 applications, followed by Northeast with 93,000, North Central 83,000, Southwest 56,000, and South-South with 38,000, and the Southeast recording the lowest with around 29,000 applications. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
The Kogi State government has restated commitments to gender equality and women empowerment as it hosted the 2025 North Central Pre-Council Technical Zonal Consultative Workshop in Lokoja. The event, held at the Government House, marked the first time a National Zone Pre-Council meeting was hosted in the state ahead of the 25th National Council on Women Affairs. Statements from the Kogi State government says that the workshop showcased the administration's efforts in boosting women's participation in governance, improving economic opportunities, and strengthening legal protections. Under Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo, Kogi has increased female representation in politics and launched programs that support women's financial independence. The statements also highlighted the establishment of a sexual assault referral center alongside key legislative advances such as the Child's Right Law, Disability Law, and the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law, all aimed at protecting vulnerable groups and promoting justice and safety in communities. Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Fatima Momo, thanked the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs for choosing Kogi as host and called on participants to explore the state's cultural and economic strengths. Meanwhile, 6 outstanding civil servants have been honored for their exceptional service, professionalism, and contributions to public service in Kogi State as the 2025 Civil Service Week rounds off. Ajibola Christopher reports that the ceremony was held at the banquet hall of the Government House, Lokoja.
The week-long activities marking Civil Service Week in Kogi State had a free medical outreach, special religious services, novelty football match, tree planting, and public lectures to enhance productivity in the civil service. Speaking on behalf of the Governor, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Muhyiddin Abdullahi, commends the Head of Civil Service, Dr. Elijah Binemi, for sustaining the Civil Service Week as a platform to celebrate excellence. He calls for more award categories to accommodate officers across all cadres to encourage civil servants to embrace continuous self-development to remain relevant in a fast-changing world.
I want to encourage you to keep more and devote more energy in dishing out your experiences to service of the state.
In his remark, Dr. Elijah Binemi praises Kogi State civil servants for their steadfastness and commitment, urging them to embrace innovation and digital transformation in their daily operations.
We bring the week to a glorious close by celebrating the dedication, ingenuity, and selfless commitment of civil servants who have distinguished themselves.
Highlight of the event was the presentation of awards to distinguished officers drawn from the Office of the Heads of Civil Service, Ministry of Health, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the State, Civil Service Commission, Ministry of Finance, Budget and Planning, as well as local government. Each recipient received a certificate of recognition and a packaged gift item with a special commendations from His Excellency.
This award means a lot to me as a civil servant.
Ajibola Christopher, NTA News.
Here's the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We'll take a break. More reports in moments. Stay with us.
Feel the power of precision. Engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
Welcome back. 11 Nigerian miners stranded in the Central African Republic have been rescued and returned safely to Nigeria through the federal government's intervention. They were accompanied by Ambassador Babagana Ahmed and received by a government's delegation led by Air Commodore Kenneth Oyong at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The miners arrived on an ASKY Airlines Boeing 747-200. The Minister of Interior is urging the new Controller General of the Federal Fire Service, Samuel Adeyemi, to lead with initiative, innovate boldly and push reforms that will transform the agency into a true fire and rescue service. Victor Azu reports that this was during the inauguration of the new CG in Abuja.
Much more than a decoration ceremony, it was a charge to deliver. The Minister of Interior says the vision is to modernize, reform and rescue, while the Permanent Secretary adds, inspire trust and get results.
Fire mitigation, prevention, and whatever is the least of your responsibility. You are as important to life as the oxygen that we breathe.
A lot is going to be on your table with the reforms that is ongoing. You must respect Nigerians and your God. That is the only way you can remain on top.
Olumode, until now Deputy Controller General for Administration and Supply, steps in with more than 20 years of service, academic depth and operational experience, promising not to disappoint.
We are going to do our best. I assure you I will not disappoint Mr. President, and then I will not disappoint Nigeria as a whole.
Now, the question on the minds of Nigerians will be, can he light the spark that sets the service on a new path? Time will tell. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
And it was meant to be a day of celebration, the decoration of 30 newly promoted Assistant Controllers General of Corrections. But the tone shifted fast as Controller General Sylvester Nwakuche warned that jailbreaks will no longer be tolerated. Here again is Victor Azu.
From smiles and handshakes to a stern wake-up call, the Controller General of Corrections, Sylvester Nwakuche, used the Kefi jailbreak where 16 inmates escaped and 5 officers were injured, as is case in point. 7 escapees are back in custody, but for Nwakuche, that's not enough.
Any further abdication of responsibilities will surely attract the instinct. I charge you to take full control of their respective zones, their state commands, and their custodial centers as ACGs.
He charged controllers and officers in charge of custodial centers to tighten security or face sanctions. Some of the newly promoted ACGs who may man zonal headquarters told NTA News the honor comes with a heavier responsibility to serve with integrity and keep the gates secure.
What we need to do as ACGs is to put in our best in order to meet the requirements, the mandates of the government.
Correctional officers have to wake up. It's a call to duty. You have to wake up to strive and do their responsibility, the primary assignment of protecting the public and protecting the nation at large.
Decorations bring pomp, family pride, and even top brass. But this year, the backdrop is stern. Promotion is no shield from accountability. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Let's now get a recap of our top stories. President Tinubu departs Abuja for Dubai ahead of two-nation trip to Japan and Brazil. Nigeria on pathway to sustainable development, Information Minister assures.
All parts of this country, including the Boycesia and Southeast Africa, have benefited from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's NEFON program.
And federal government rescues 11 Nigerian miners stranded in Central African Republic.
This is NTA News 24.
Nigerians contesting at this year's King Abdulaziz International Quran competition are already putting up superlative performances, with flawless recitations of Islam's holy book at the Grand Mosque in Mecca. Tokbe Alabi reports on the competition organized by the Ministry of Islamic Affairs, Dawah and Guidance under the patronage of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman Abdulaziz Al Saud.
The final rounds of the 45th King Abdulaziz International Competition for the memorization, recitation and interpretation of the Quran is underway at the Grand Mosque in Mecca. One of Saudi Arabia's greatest honors is its service to the Quran and recognition of its memorizers, a tradition upheld since the era of the kingdom's founder, King Abdulaziz, to King Salman and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. The 11-day finals between August 9 and 20 convened 179 contestants from 128 countries across 5 continents as against 109 participants from 123 countries in 2024.
سنوسي بخاري إدريس من جمهورية نيجيريا الاتحادية.
مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة.
Nigeria's Bukhari Sunusi Idris is contesting in the first category, while Bilal Hamza is in the second category, and both have been putting up impressive performances along other contestants from Africa and beyond under a panel of international referees selected from Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Uganda and Albania.
هذه أمتكم أمة
كلمة واحدة وأنا ربكم فاتقون.
Participants are still delivering readings across the 5 competition categories before a large audience of competitors, companions and worshippers at the Grand Mosque in an atmosphere filled with the sound of the Quran, as the competition's total prize fund stands at 4 million Saudi Riyal in addition to 1 million Saudi Riyal in financial gifts for all participants. Tokbe Alabi, NTA News.
Well, that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adegunloye.